Before I tell you what I think about this bike and talk about it, I really want to address one recurring comment as such on my video or on other people who reviewed this bike. And the comment is, oh, it's just another expensive KTM. And it's not. It's not an expensive KTM. I mean, we've all seen bikes with mediocre suspension and then people saying, oh, change the suspension and it transforms the bike, thinking that changing the suspension is a cheap option. So, like the Vitpilen 701 has got fully adjustable WP front forks, adjustable back suspension, and fantastic Brembo brakes, that beautiful tank. All these things, guys, cost money, so you cannot say it's just an expensive KTM, and especially when it comes from people who, I can assure you, haven't even ridden the 701 and the equivalent KTM, which I'm presuming is the Duke 690. They're completely different bikes, even down to the headstock angle. On the KTM, I think it's 63.5 degrees. On this one, it's 65. Now, when somebody goes through the engineering nightmare or expense of actually changing the head angle, that tells you that they wanted to change the feel of the bike. And they do, and I rode them both, and they do ride differently. Now, which one you prefer is completely up to you. Go and test ride both of them and decide which one you like more. But don't just say, it's an expensive KTM. That is completely wrong. I always welcome comments when they are subjective and objective and to the point, and especially from people in the know. But if you haven't ridden the bikes, don't just comment like that. It's completely wrong. Now, what do I think about it? I loved it, especially if you've seen my video when I took it into the wall of trees. The way it rides, man, it's so eager. It tips into the corners, holds its lines. That single cylinder engine is a pleasure to use, especially with the quick shifter. The quick shifter as well. You think quick shifters are not expensive? Especially with the quick shifter, with its up and down quick shifting and auto blipping, so you can keep that single cylinder in its usable rev range. And the beauty of it is that you can enjoy it without getting into too much trouble. I mean, I took the S1000 and the Nuda and the KTM into the wall of trees, and on that road they're just too powerful for it, while this one was perfect, inch perfect. Now, another concern, a lot of people said that it could be not comfortable, but I tell you what, it is comfortable. I mean, that gel seat is brilliant. I rode it for maximum in one stint 3 hours. I didn't feel any discomfort at all. The clip-ons, yes, you are overextended, but even to somebody who's not used to clip-ons, I mean, you know that I love naked bikes, upright bikes, but I didn't find it a problem. Now, somebody said, how about pillion? I have no idea. I will never put a pillion on such a bike, but apparently Orlando Bloom took Katy Perry on the back and she loved it. So if that gives you the indication, then go by what Katy Perry said. I have no clue. What else am I gonna say about the bike? And this is not a biased thing, guys, I really love it. And I hope Husqvarna do well with this bike, because it deserves it. At least it deserves your attention to go out and try it. And try it with the other potential bikes that you're thinking about getting. Because what you will find is every single thing on this bike is premium. I was especially impressed with the front brake. And one guy said, it's not good, it only has one one rotor as such. Now the question is, If a bike only needs one, why put two on it for extra weight and extra complexity? This is what I don't understand about some of the comments, and they get on my nerves. So I was really impressed with the brake. Proper Brembo setup. I think it's 340 in the front millimeters. It's all what you need. The back brake is good. Tires were really grippy. I had no issues with them. What are they actually? I've never even looked what they were. They're Bridgestone Battle Axe S21Rs. I think Husqvarna should have called this one the 701R. So then people will know that it is premium. And I don't think that their marketing campaign, well, initially, I don't know if they have changed it. I don't think it does this bike justice, because their marketing as for people who never rode bikes, or for the fashion conscious, or for people who like attention, but they are forgetting about the riders, the true riders, which they shouldn't, because it is a 100% a rider's bike. When I first got it, I don't know who was riding it before me, but the gear shift, I think they were riding it with motocross boots. I had to lift up my foot in order to go and change down, but thankfully it's very easy. It's like a rear set, so you just change it by unscrewing both bolts and then changing the angle that you want. With an Acra and a full system, then you can hear what that single cylinder will give. Currently it just sounds muted. It has okay sound, but it needs an Acra system. And I like how they hidden, as opposed to on the 690 Duke, they have hidden actually the cat and all the gubbins under that exhaust. So just to summarize, go give this bike a shot. You will be pleasantly surprised. And I wanted to do a commuting vid on it because I did the out of town one. But then I thought, how many commuting vids can someone see from RJ? So I'm going to put a couple of minutes after this, me commuting on it and some remarks I got on it in town. But if you want to know more, just ask me. Now, in terms of commuting, because of the clip-ons and because your head is down, I didn't feel it as comfortable or as confident with a normal naked upright bike. It does it perfectly. It's narrow, it's nimble, it's got fantastic turning circle. It's just that you need to be higher in order to judge what the traffic is doing. Let me wait until this helicopter goes. I know the sun was in my face, whether I caught it or not. Anyway, as I was saying, if you want to get this bike purely for commuting, you're missing the point of it. You need to get out, get it into narrow, twisty roads, bumpy roads, because that suspension on that trip that I made coped so well. And one guy was saying, is it the suspension up and down because I was wearing the gimbal, or was it planted? 100% it was. Any other bike with lesser suspension would have skipped and jumped and went offline all the time. Suspension is beautiful on this one. I'll leave you with a couple of minutes of me commuting on it. And as I said, you want to know more, just ask in the comments and I will do my best to answer you.